Hey everybody, what I want to talk about today is the posing round and should it count in the scores. As you probably know, Arnold Schwarzenegger met with Jim Mannion and some other officials, and at the Arnold Classic events, all 6 of them, this year, posing round for the professional men will be counted as a full 1/3 of their overall score. This is how it used to be. This is how it was decades ago in what many people consider the glory days, the classic era of bodybuilding. Presentation was paramount. They would never, ever have imagined going up on stage and being clumsy, awkward, going through the motions of posing, awkward transitions. They put a lot of time and effort. I had the privilege of interviewing Arnold Schwarzenegger for an upcoming issue of Muscular Development magazine, and a large part of the conversation was the importance of posing, which Arnold is a huge believer in. If you watch the movie Pumping Iron, and I hope you've all seen it, if not once, many, many times like myself, you'll see just how much effort and artistry they put into the presentation, the posing routine, graceful transitions, powerful, unique poses. They considered posing to be equally important to the training. They would devote a full half hour to an hour after every workout as a group at the Old Gold's Gym in Venice, working on their posing, critiquing each other, practicing, getting better and better. So you say, okay, that's great. That was the old timers. That was a different time and they like to pose. And a lot of the modern guys don't think posing should count in the scores, and they don't think posing's really that important. I'm only 46. I'm not as old as some of these guys that were around during the Pumping Iron era, but I fully agree with their sentiments that posing should count, and it's a very, very important part of our sport. It's what makes it an art form. You spend all this time, effort, training hard, eating right, getting your rest, all that time and effort to get ready for a contest. Why would you want to get up on stage, pose like an amateur, clumsy, not hitting the poses right, having a routine that looks like you're making it up on the spot, like you can't even decide which pose to hit next? It's embarrassing to watch, and it's boring for the audience. These contests now especially that we have all these divisions, they're very, very long events, very long. And if you're at an event where all the bodybuilders get to pose, which most local and regional shows, that's the case, it's a long night. And if most people are average or below average posers, it's so boring. Why wouldn't you want to stand out? Why wouldn't you want to have a routine that gets the crowd excited, on its feet? Get them going. I'd like to see people really take the time and put routines together that you don't have to be a breakdancer. You don't have to do all this crazy stuff that, Kai Green can do, Darren Charles did, Melvin Anthony, the people that are, Fred Smalls, these people that they have dance backgrounds, all of them, Tricky Jackson, and, they put very exciting routines together with dancing. And, if you can do that, that's great. You don't have to do that, though. Look at people like Hidetada Yamagishi, Dennis Wolf. There's some others that have that classical style, the old school style of posing, where they really polished every pose, every transition. It's so graceful, fluid from one pose to the next. Go on YouTube, look up Ed Corney posing, Frank Zane posing, Bob Paris posing, Lee Labrada, Francis Benfato, Rich Gaspari. These people all put so much time and effort into their routines to make them a powerful presentation. Another important part of the presentation to go with the physique that you're showing, that you put so much time and effort into. So I do believe, there's talk that eventually the posing will count again for a full third in all pro events. I hope that is the case. I hope these guys are forced to take the time and become better posers through many hours of practice, just like they put into their training, their eating, their cooking, everything else that goes into being a polished professional bodybuilder, or should in any case. At the amateur level, it's probably never going to be the case where posing is counted. And, to an extent, that's fine, because theoretically the best of these amateurs are all going to move on to the pro ranks, and that's when they're going to have to step it up. presentation is going to be that much more important because they're going to have to stand out. Because, you know, it's not important enough to have this great physique. You have to be able to show it properly. You have to know how to tailor each pose to fit your body best. And if you study people like Frank Zane, he was a master at that. He was just a master at showing his strong points, distracting you away from his weaker points, and just captivating the audience, had them in the palm of his hand. And all those people that were great posers, same thing. The crowd would be on its feet instead of, you know, looking at their watch like, oh my God, when is this contest going to be over? You know, you don't want people to be thinking that when you're posing. It's looking at their watch and bored out of their skulls. I would hope you don't want that anyway. You know, what does it take? It's just going to take a lot of practice, a lot of work on their posing. I believe everybody can become better posers. If they're not a good poser, they can certainly remedy that. It's just a matter of taking the time and practicing. You know, if you need to work with somebody that's a better poser to coach you, that's fine. Kenny Wallach out of the Montanari Brothers Powerhouse Gym in New Haven is renowned for that. He's great at all types of athletes. I'm pretty decent at coaching bodybuilders in their posing. Anyone that's really got a lot of experience, many years of doing this and perfecting that aspect of it, which, you know, not enough people put importance on. But if it comes to pass that posing becomes judged at every single pro event, we are going to see a resurgence in posing taking on a higher prominence. Guys are going to have to step up their game and become better posers. They're going to have no choice, because if it's close, if someone else has a physique that's almost as good as theirs, a couple points away in the first couple rounds, and one guy's a far superior poser, guess what? He wins. And he deserves to win, because he took the time and made the effort like he was supposed to. Just like if you want to be in great condition, you have to take the time and the effort and diet down and suffer more than the other guy. And it's going to show on stage. Posing shows on stage too. So that's about the end of it for now. I hope you guys give some thought to it, and talk to you next time. Bye-bye.